Welcome to Dreamy Tales, where soothing stories guide you into a peaceful night's sleep. Enjoy imaginative bedtime stories that take you on a journey to the land of dreams, accompanied by relaxing background sounds to help you unwind and drift off easily. Perfect for both children and adults, Dreamy Tales is your ideal companion to relax, wind down, and enjoy tranquil moments. Don't forget to subscribe, like the video, and share it with others. Tune in, relax, and let your mind wander into a world of calm and serenity with us. In the days following his victory over the Shroud's data core, Miguel knew his battle was only beginning. New York might have woken up to a new dawn, free from the Shroud's oppressive surveillance, but the effects were hardly immediate. The city was left vulnerable, its layers of control peeled back to reveal a fragile infrastructure and a society that had forgotten what freedom looked like. A power vacuum loomed, and within days, various tech conglomerates, crime syndicates, and darknet organizations were vying for control. Miguel found himself taking on a dual role, both protector and mentor to New York citizens. People who had been afraid to even raise their voices before were now looking to Spider-Tech for guidance. Miguel couldn't let them down, yet he struggled with the immense weight of his new responsibility. As Spider-Tech, he was now more than just a fighter. He had become a symbol of defiance and hope for an entire city. Meanwhile, his underground network of allies expanded. Blaze, the ex-Shroud technician, began gathering engineers, activists, and programmers who wanted to help Miguel in rebuilding New York's shattered systems. Blaze and Miguel worked together to set up a secure communication network for citizens to report suspicious activities and threats, bypassing the remnants of the Shroud's now dormant surveillance systems. Shadowcat, on the other hand, operated in the background, constantly adapting security measures to keep Miguel's growing team safe. She'd seen friends and allies fall to the Shroud in the past, and she was determined not to let history repeat itself. Together, the trio formed a new council, dedicating their time and resources to helping the city transition from a world of constant surveillance to one of cautious liberty. But as Miguel's fame grew, so did the danger. One evening, during a quiet patrol, Miguel received an encrypted message from Blaze, summoning him to a secluded part of New York. Blaze revealed disturbing news: a new player had emerged, a rogue faction known as the Guild of Shadows. Unlike the Shroud, this organization operated in pure secrecy, recruiting former Shroud agents, rogue tech hackers, and mercenaries who were trained in the art of cyber warfare and physical combat. The Guild of Shadows had one objective: to reclaim New York through the remnants of the Shroud's influence. Led by the enigmatic figure known as the Phantom, the Guild's operatives moved in silence, taking over sectors and intimidating civilians to restore the old order. They'd begun targeting Spider-Tech sympathizers and terrorizing citizens who dared speak of freedom. Miguel knew that he was outnumbered and, perhaps, outmatched. The Phantom had deep connections within New York's criminal underworld, and his agents were masters of disguise and stealth. But Miguel had Blaze and Shadowcat, who were quick to adapt to the Guild's tactics, helping him expose their strategies and safeguard civilians. As the Guild grew bolder, Miguel found himself facing a new kind of threat, one that wasn't as easy to spot or fight. As Spider-Tech's responsibilities deepened, Miguel began to struggle with a hidden emotional burden: Every fight, every victory came with losses. Friends he'd made among the citizens, allies who believed in Spider-Tekka's cause, were getting caught in the crossfire. The sense of responsibility was crushing. Blaze and Shadowcat watched as Miguel pushed himself to the breaking point, often staying out for days at a time, trying to protect the city. But even a hero needed help. Blaze took it upon himself to remind Miguel of his own limits, urging him to remember that he wasn't alone in this battle. Shadowcat, ever the realist, was more direct, warning Miguel that he was no good to New York if he lost himself to the fight. Together, they helped him create a network of trusted individuals who could act as liaisons between Spider-Tek and the city's most vulnerable areas. One night, when Miguel returned from a particularly grueling mission, he found a small, hidden community waiting to greet him. These were the people he'd saved, the families he'd protected, and the individuals who now believed in the freedom he fought for. Seeing their gratitude and trust gave Miguel a renewed sense of purpose, grounding him in the knowledge that even though the path was treacherous, his mission was worth it. Just as Miguel's resilience seemed unbreakable, an old nightmare resurfaced. Venom-X, presumed destroyed in the data core collapse, Venom-X re-emerged, now enhanced with dangerous new upgrades courtesy of the Guild of Shadows. His armor was darker, his strength amplified, and his focus singular, to hunt and destroy Spider-Tek. Miguel knew that facing Venom-X a second time would require more than just brute force. The cyborg was now equipped with a self-healing mechanism, making him nearly invincible in combat. Blaze and Shadowcat scrambled to analyze Venom-X's new systems, but the guild had encrypted his schematics, and the cyborg's technology was light years ahead of anything they'd seen. Venom-X was relentless, systematically dismantling Miguel's network and sabotaging his communications. Blaze and Shadowcat worked tirelessly, creating diversions and re-establishing secure channels. The city was plunged into a game of cat and mouse as Miguel fought to keep Venom-X at bay. Each encounter grew more brutal, with Miguel pushing himself beyond his limits to protect New York from the unstoppable force. In one particularly intense showdown, Venom-X cornered Miguel in the heart of the city. The battle drew in citizens who watched in horror as their hero was battered and bruised. But even as he struggled, Miguel refused to give up. With a desperate surge of strength, he managed to trap Venom-X in a powerful electromagnetic field, long enough for Blaze to hack into the cyborg system and install a shutdown code. Venom-X fell silent, his once menacing eyes dimmed. For a moment, New York was still, the weight of Spider-Tekka's victory palpable in the air. The crowd erupted in cheers, celebrating the hero who had once again defended their freedom. But Miguel knew that the Guild of Shadows was still lurking, and his fight was far from over. With Venom-X defeated and the Guild's influence waning, Miguel set his sights on the Phantom. Through Blaze's relentless investigation, they uncovered the Phantom's real identity, a former Shroud architect who had gone rogue and amassed a following among those who thrived on control and fear. The Phantom had planned to turn New York into a cyber monopoly, controlling every facet of life with brutal efficiency. Miguel knew this would be his most dangerous mission yet. Together with Blaze and Shadowcat, he orchestrated an all-out assault on the Phantom's headquarters. The mission was a high-stakes gamble, with every ally, every piece of tech, and every ounce of courage pulled together for the final showdown. Infiltrating the Phantom's lair, Miguel faced the Guild's elite operatives, each as deadly as Venom-X and trained in the darkest arts of surveillance and control. The labyrinthine compound was rigged with traps and surveillance mechanisms designed to thwart even the most skilled intruder. But Miguel's tenacity carried him forward, cutting through obstacles with precision and determination. At last, Miguel confronted the Phantom in the compound's inner sanctum. The figure before him was a chilling reminder of what New York could become if left unchecked. The Phantom taunted him, mocking Spider-Tech's naive heroism in the face of a system that would always rebuild itself. But Miguel was undeterred. Their battle was swift and intense, a clash of ideologies and combat skills. Just as the Phantom gained the upper hand, Blaze and Shadowcat intervened, creating a distraction that allowed Miguel to deliver a final, devastating blow. As the Phantom fell, his network collapsed, and the remaining Guild operatives scattered. New York was, at last, free from the grip of tyranny. Miguel emerged victorious, his suit battered and torn, but his spirit unbroken. With the Guild of Shadows disbanded and New York's citizens empowered to take control of their own destiny, Miguel finally allowed himself a moment of peace. His journey had been fraught with pain and sacrifice, but the people of New York had found a renewed sense of freedom and hope. As the sun rose over the city, casting its golden light on the now vibrant streets, Miguel removed his mask, allowing himself to feel the weight of his hard-won victory. He knew there would always be threats lurking in the shadows, but for now, New York could breathe freely, knowing that their hero, Spider-Tech, would always be there to protect them.